South East Radio's morning mix. Chat, news and your views. Alan Corcoran.
Right, I'm now joined by the president of the Rotary Club of Wexford, Karl Fitzpatrick, Ben Doyle of St Vincent de Paul, and Sean Moynihan, the CEO of Alone, to discuss the Volunteer Expo Wexford, which takes place in the Talbot Hotel in Wexford Town from 5pm to 8pm tomorrow evening. I just want to say good morning to Sean to make sure I still have him there. Good morning to you, Sean.
Good morning, hi.
Yeah, we're going to come to you in just a second. Karl, this event has been organised by the Rotary Club of Wexford. What's it all about?
Well, Alan, it's about introducing people to community-led organisations that need more volunteers. The aim of the event is to encourage people to volunteer and to increase the range of volunteerism that takes part currently across the county. We also want to help raise the profile of some of our volunteer-led organisations. We have 41 volunteer-led organisations exhibiting tomorrow evening at the event. So it's to help them raise their profile as well for the great work that they're doing across the county. It's going to be a one-stop shop for anyone that's thinking about doing volunteering in 2020.
So where does the Rotary Club fit into all of this then?
Well, the Rotary Club in Wexford has been in existence now for over 40 years. We have 41 members, and our members volunteer their time for local, national and also for global issues. So on a local level, we're involved in a range of programmes and initiatives such as Just One Life, the Youth Leadership Development Programme, the Run in the Dark, of course, with the Mark Pollock Trust, and the Christmas Hampers in conjunction with Ben and our friends in St Vincent de Paul.
I still haven't got my t-shirt for the Run in the Dark from you.
We'll make sure you have it well in advance of next year's run.
That's right, he's trying to get me to run it twice again next year. Where did the idea for this event come from, Karl?
We invite voluntary organisations in to speak at Rotary meetings on a regular basis, and I suppose over the past 6 months since I took on the presidency of the Rotary Club, we realised that the greatest challenge facing the not-for-profit sector here across the county is actually attracting volunteers.
Yeah.
So we decided to take action and to assist them with addressing this problem by organising this event.
I mean, straight away, I'm going to bring you back to an item we had on the show last week where there's a huge problem with the community games. There's up to 1,600 young people at risk of not being able to participate because they could not get a secretary, and there's a meeting coming up for that. So here's a golden opportunity for someone to come along. I mean, Community Games is an example of one of the organisations that we do not want to see gone from Wexford, Karl.
Absolutely, it's phenomenally important for the next generation, and I think that tomorrow certainly we will meet with people that could fill that position and many more like it. Okay,
I'm going to bring in Sean Moynihan now. Sean, can you just explain to us as to how Alone would see a benefit of this here locally, what Karl has just described there? You've heard what he's described in great detail.
Look, all change comes from people on the ground, and volunteering is how people get involved in their own communities and we bring about change. For us, we're always looking for volunteers who'll visit and work with older people in their community. And the volunteering element, what we find is the volunteers, will always tell you they get as much out of it as actually the older people they support. So we're really behind all of this. We look at sport. Our team will be there on the night. And what we find is when you give people an opportunity to get involved with the community, they take it with both hands.
Can you tell me what for you is the quality needed for an Alone volunteer? As I said, I've Ben from St Vincent de Paul. I'll ask Ben now in just a second what they're looking for by way of quality for a St Vincent de Paul volunteer. But for you, what is the quality of an Alone volunteer? And by the very definition, I'm just assuming everyone knows who Alone are. So maybe you tell us who Alone are and then what you're looking for by way of volunteers.
Well, what we do is we support older people at age at home. And part of that support is volunteering support, where volunteers visit older people in their communities who maybe are facing health, housing, loneliness issues, and we provide that support and link to the community. What we're looking for in volunteers themselves is people who can give 1 to 3 hours every week. It's a big commitment. It's not for everybody, but ultimately is they bring joy into somebody's life. And the volunteer themselves, what we find is that it's a situation we look at the older person's interests and we try to match with a volunteer who has similar interests. So as well as providing a support and a service, and we train and guard and vet people, we're also trying to get people that fit in and get on together.
And you will be present at the event, which is taking place in the Talbot Hotel tomorrow evening. All right, Ben Doyle.
We'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, stay with us, Sean, for a moment. Ben Doyle, St Vincent de Paul. We've spoken to you twice before Christmas in the build-up to the collection and then after the collection. St Vincent de Paul is an organisation that the county has depended on for many decades and will continue to depend on. So what are you looking for by way of volunteers?
We're actually looking, Alan, for anybody over the age of 18. Again, anybody that has 1 to 3 hours a week to give. We have home visitation, we have hospital visitation, we have people that can volunteer in our shops. We have a range of things that people can volunteer with. Again, we'll have a stand, thanks to Karl there. The lovely Sinead from Waterford will be there, I'll be there. Again, the tools are given to you, you're trained, you go out, and you'll never be on your own in St. Vincent de Paul. You'll always be with a second person. We go in our pairs. We're actually honoured and privileged to go in. The core of our work is going in to visit people in their homes. We bring hope, we bring a lot of significance back into their homes where they've actually lost the will, the bills piling up and stuff, and you'll get no better satisfaction than a volunteering for any voluntary organisation when you see the joy that you bring back into people's homes. It could be a long process or it could be a short process, but you won't get you'll get so much satisfaction out of volunteering.
Yeah, look, I can't lose the opportunity when you're here with me, because I'll pass it on to the news team as well. We've come out of the Christmas period, and basically the question I would be putting to you is, how are people shaping up after Christmas? There could be people listening to us this morning who may be going through a difficult time. If post-Christmas bills are now starting to come in, they might be a little bit frazzled. What sort of calls are you getting to St. Vincent de Paul as we speak?
We're as busy as ever, Alan, even with education. We support education a lot. We're passionate about educating the younger people. Yeah, bills are piling up, and again, if anybody has any problems whatsoever, regardless of what the cause, what the bill is, please don't hesitate to contact us anytime. We're there the whole year round, not just for Christmas, for the whole year.
So
and we're on the ground.
Don't suffer in silence.
Please don't ever suffer in silence. A problem shared is a problem halved, they say.
All right.
And we're there to help no matter what the cause.
I want to bring Karl back in a second, but now I just want to go back to Sean. Sean, is there, just listening to Ben there from St. Vincent de Paul, I'd say when all you get together tomorrow at this particular event organised by Rotary, it's going to be a really good coming together of minds. I'm sure there's a link between what Alone do nationally and locally and what St. Vincent de Paul do.
Look, so much about this is about people working together. For us, we work with around 40 different partners, including the Vincent de Paul. And what you're trying to do is whether we're going through the front door working with somebody, we're actually bringing all the other relationships and all the other services with us, and vice versa. And that's what it's all about. Unfortunately, there's always more work, unfortunately, than any of us have resources. So what we all do is we do our best to work together to bring some joy, to bring some relief, to bring some financial, transport and company support to individuals and help them deal with the difficult challenges sometimes they're facing in their lives. But volunteering, I'd say to you, is for anybody who's interested in listening, please come out tomorrow night. If it's not with us, it'll be with something else, to find something where you can give back to your community. It'll be the greatest joy of your life, as well as doing good for those around you.
You're a busy man, Sean. I'm going to let you go, but just finally, before we do let you go, the youngest age group that you'll take a volunteer, and I presume anyone who is retired, whatever, you're looking, are you age-wise, what do you think?
For us, it's 18 plus. We've volunteers older than some of the people we actually visit, because a lot of this can be about health and resources and finance and housing. So ultimately, anybody over 18, and ultimately is the same, Garda training, vetting, all of these types of things are what goes on, it's what's expected. But ultimately, hopefully also creating an esprit de corps where together we can make lives better for the people of Wexford.
Thank you, Sean. That's the CEO of Alone, Sean Moynihan. He'll be amongst the guests who will be appearing at the Tauber Hotel tomorrow between 5 and 8. But now, Karl Fitzpatrick, how many volunteer-led organisations are exhibiting, and what's the focus of these organisations?
Well, there's 41 volunteer-led organisations exhibiting. We have been absolutely blown away, Alan, by the demand that we've got from the volunteer-led sector and also from those looking to attend. Just to give you a flavour for some of the organisations that will be there on the night, so the Civil Defence will be there, the Order of Malta, Family Carers Ireland, Wexford Tidy Towns, Parkinson's Association, the FDYS, the Community Wexford Workshop, just to name a few. Yeah. So they're very, very broad based. And the great thing about that is that when attendees and aspiring volunteers have an opportunity to attend tomorrow night's event, they'll have an opportunity to meet with 41 different organisations, and they'll find the one that will inspire them most. And from that, the relationship starts between them and the organisation.
Right, okay. Father Peter McVerry is the headline speaker. He was the forerunner to you guys joining me in studio this morning. He's a man who I have the utmost respect for, because he literally has what he stands up in. In other words, that man has nothing when it comes to material goods, but my goodness, what a work he does. And to have him there tomorrow night is an absolute bonus. So what is he going to speak about?
Well, he's going to speak about the importance of volunteering. So for many decades, Ireland has been synonymous, of course, with volunteering. And Father Peter McVerry joined you a number of weeks ago, and he said during that interview that Ireland is up there with the best of countries in Europe in relation to volunteering and people giving back to their community and appreciating the community that they're living in. He's done tremendous work for people that are suffering from homelessness for long before it ever became something on the government's agenda. He epitomises volunteering and promotes it in a positive and engaging manner. So everyone, I'm sure, will be eager to hear what he has to say tomorrow evening. It will be an inspiration, and I'm sure it will have a long-lasting impact on attendees.
Look, I'm a huge fan. He's a class act, and he calls it as it is. He really is one of those people that we should be so proud of, and to get him down here to Wexford is a fantastic achievement and for this event, and he alone would be a calling card to go to the Talbot Hotel tomorrow. I want to just finally ask you about who should attend, and you need to just put one more question to Ben, and this is a question, if I can just swing that microphone across to Ben there, please. Ben, why did you become a volunteer?
I was actually speaking to Karl about this before we came into the studio, and at a very early age I would have seen my mother volunteering for different organisations, and from the age of 10 we would have been drafted in to clear tables from senior citizens, tea parties and all, when there was no such thing as health and safety, when it was okay to be in a child in. And I presume the seed would have been sown at that stage, Alan. I would have got married, reared 2 children, and for some reason I had time on my hands, and that's the main reason I volunteered. There was a conference starting up in Barntown where I live, and I joined that, and I've been there ever since for 12 years. And it's the one thing in life, apart from childbirth, 2 men in the studio, it's the one thing in life that I get so much satisfaction from. Right. I was given the tools within the society to become a trainer, to become area president, conference president, regional president. I would never have thought I had that in me. Yeah. To become, even to get up, to come into a studio and do a live interview, Alan, without the tools that were given to me with the society, with the voluntary organisation I joined, I wouldn't have had the capability to do this. That's the main reason, and I get so much satisfaction.
And as anticipated, people are starting to text in now, and you said quite clearly, do not suffer in silence. And as also people are a little bit worried about confidentiality, I know you're going to reassure them, if you are calling to the Vincent de Paul, it is ultra confidential, isn't it?
That's the golden rule within the society. We've 2 golden rules. You never go alone, you visit in your pairs, and the first thing you do, you get the handshake can mean a lot, but it's stressed at every phone call and every visit, this is private and confidential.
Bit like the Official Secrets Act.
Oh, 100% confidentiality is the utmost.
No, I have a listener who I say just needed to clarify that. I'm not quite sure if they want to become a volunteer, or they could be asking on behalf of somebody who may need your assistance at the moment. Anyway, I hope I've answered that question for that listener who shall remain private. Karl, then, Finally, if anyone listening this morning would like to attend, what do they need to do?
Well, I'm delighted to say that we have hundreds of people that have already registered to attend on volunteerexpowexford.ie. We're expecting 500 people at least at the event tomorrow evening. So if any of your listeners are interested in attending, Alan, they can go to the website volunteerexpowexford.ie and register for free.
And it's 5 to 8 in the Talbot Hotel in Wexford tomorrow afternoon. Sean Moynihan from Malone will be there. Some of the organisations you've listed, they'll all have representatives there, plus many more. And the keynote speaker is Father Peter McVerry. Look, it's a golden opportunity, and it's absolutely free.
Absolutely free for exhibitors and attendees.
And you may be someone who has time to spare, and you may recently have retired, and all of a sudden you get a whole new lease of life tomorrow. So you'll benefit, and the groups you join will benefit. So don't lose out.
Southeast Radio's Morning Mix
with Joyce's Expert Wexford. Joyce's Expert Wexford, helping you stay motivated and improve your well-being with the full smartwatch range. Joyce's Expert range.